Now time for the weather with meteorologist Alison Osborne. Alison, spring is here, but doesn't quite look like it in some places.
Definitely feeling chilly, Tim, particularly across southeastern Australia. We're tipping a wetter season across many areas, and it's really kicking off with a bang. We've seen unseasonable falls in the last 2 days over central western inland Queensland. The rain clouds clearing over the outback and then pushing towards the coast overnight. Raining steadily now over the Gold Coast and Brisbane and everywhere down to Sydney. Another rainmaker in the west is also bringing heavy falls. And you can see on our rain radar, the radar has been busy overnight. The heavier echoes, though, and the heaviest rainfall pushing out to sea as a transient low pressure system develops. This has taken the heaviest falls away from the Sunshine Coast, Brisbane, and that's sparing any flooding in that area. That said, further south, the rain's just starting to ramp up around the Coffs Coast and the north coast of New South Wales, while patchy rain streams in north of about Wollongong. And I'm sorry to say, it is here to stay for the rest of today. Now, that low pressure system, it's intensifying, slingshotting heavy rainfall over the New South Wales north coast today, with a side of gusty winds and some rather rough seas. You can see the area of red between Port Macquarie and Coffs Harbour, indicating the heaviest falls, where we could see up to 100 millimetres. No severe weather warnings yet, but definitely a day to go easy. A top of 19 degrees in Brisbane today, 17 in Sydney. Dry in Canberra, though, 15. Temperatures remain below average, not feeling like spring at all in the southeast. Patchy showers in Melbourne, 16 in Adelaide, 19 in Perth and 34 degrees in Darwin, Tim.
I can see that massive chunk of rain over Western Australia, and rain records broken.
Obliterated, particularly in the Gascoyne and the central west of the state. Now, the rain radar has been keeping busy over the Pilbara. Now, rain radar coverage is not uniform across WA, so you can see a bit of a gap there. There's no gap. It's raining from the Pilbara all the way through to the southwest land division, including Perth. Now, this is due to a low pressure system and trough. Some of these numbers don't seem that big, but for this time of year, they are colossal. 2 months worth of rain falling at Meekatharra. The same for Carnarvon and also Geraldton, seeing 19.2 millimetres. Major highways are likely to be closed today with that much rain. It will continue to push further and further east today, and that should clear the wet weather over Perth, but it is going to be a day of some very wet conditions. Flood watches are in place over the WA outback. Details, as always, Sky Weather Channel 601, Tim.
Just finally, our heart goes out to everyone affected by the awful floods that we've seen. Is there any reprieve, do you think? I know there's all the talk about the weather systems over the next few months, and a lot of people are just trying to mop up from the problems that they've had.
The atmosphere, unfortunately, Tim, just remains absolutely primed for rain events to really wreak havoc over eastern Australia. We have a building La Nina and also the negative Indian Ocean dipole. So that's two rain-making climate drivers really enhancing that rainfall. So unfortunately, the best we can do is give people the information to prepare. No real good news on the horizon. That said, we do have to wait for any of those weather events. So as always, stay up to date and informed with those warnings.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thanks for that, Al.